Chris Santos is best known for his breakout performance in the feature film The Girlfriend Experience, directed by Steven Soderbergh, where he played the male lead alongside adult film star Sasha Grey. Now his life has come full circle because he's at it again with Steven Soderbergh in a very interesting film project.
What happened?
And it is justice that ends the error at your birthday.
Perhaps we should stop.
Please, stay with me.
Hi, Chris. Nice
How
to
are
see you.
Nice to see you both.
Thank you for coming to the Trend Talk.
I appreciate it.
So your career has had a little bit of everything. You've done modeling. You were, you've done personal training. But I want to start from the beginning. You were modeling for Calvin Klein, for Versace. So why did you get out of modeling?
Well, I'm one of 5 kids, and my mom, when I was 12, and the other kids were all different ages, kind of like just pushed us in front of the cameras, which is a common thing I think in America. And I was always easy in front of cameras. It came easy to me, and I was comfortable. And I think that when someone's 12 is just a big hurdle there. Can your kid stand there and smile and not cry and freak out? And I could do that. So that got me working right away. And we were always doing the modeling and the acting. And the acting was going and the modeling was going. And to be honest, by 16, I was dropped out of high school and I was shooting a Versace campaign in Italy. And,
wow.
And I really didn't even know who Gianni Versace was at that time, and got to know him very, very.
So did you meet him?
Oh yeah. Him,
And that's like a
Donatella.
whole education. I mean, traveling around the world and learning about other countries and meeting all these wonderful, famous people.
Well, funny enough, I had to actually drop out of high school because when I'd gotten to Europe, I called my mother and I said, "I'm not coming home. I'm sorry."
Oh, wow.
I was only
You
supposed
saw
to
the
be-
world and
Yeah,
you wanted to be out there.
Yeah, and when I came back the following year, I wanted to go back to high school, and they're like, "Well, you're going to have to be left behind for a year." So I wrote a 10-page paper about how I should be able to skip a year because I got educated. I saw the world. I went to Italy,
That was like
Paris,
your thesis,
London.
right? Like
Yeah,
the whole
that was
high
my-
school traveling.
That was my
Right.
high school thesis on skipping a year of high school. And
Did it work?
It worked. It
Oh,
worked.
wow.
I had to go on home teaching. The principal said, "I'll let you do 11th and 12th at the same time. And if you can handle that, you can graduate on time."
And then fast forward, you became a personal trainer. That's quite a leap from like modeling and acting, traveling the world in Europe, to becoming a personal trainer. Why did you enjoy that part of it so much, training?
Well, I was always athletic when I was younger and in high school. And again, when you do a job where it's all based on a lot on rejection, and plus, modeling and acting was something my mother made me do. So I think when I got about 18 or 19, I'd done a lot of pretty sizable jobs. I was happy with what I did. I felt like I'd lived up to what my mom wanted me to do, and I wanted to do something on my own.
Right.
So maybe it was like youth in revolt or whatever. But when I started just personal training on the side as like just a side gig and something to keep me active. But
Right.
I really connected with helping people and changing their lives, and like I really had an impact as opposed to just taking a photograph or being acting or a commercial. Like I could reach into someone's life and help them take command of it.
And that leap was an interesting leap because you started working with Soderbergh, like one of the biggest directors in the...
Yeah, I mean, what happened was you met someone through your training that had a connection with Soderbergh. So it's like, it was kind of all meant to be, and it all came full circle. So tell us about how training connected you with Soderbergh.
Well, it's a great question. So one of my first clients was a guy named David Levine, who at that time was just a novelist, and he was trying to sell a screenplay that he wrote called Rounders. And he ended up selling that movie, and it went on to become a cult classic, and then did a bunch of other films, and I would sort of train him, get him in shape, then he would go film a movie and get beat up and then come back, and we had this relationship over 10 years. And he ended up where he was doing Ocean's 13 with Soderbergh, and during that time they came up with the idea for The Girlfriend Experience. And so I had actually quit training. I moved to Los Angeles because all of my brothers and sisters moved out here. And David called me one day and said, "Hey, I just wrote this film, and I swear to God, the character's a trainer, and he's you." And so I'd like you to meet Steven, and I'm not saying anything will come of it other than the two of you just meeting.
Right.
And so we did, and at the end of that he said,
and the
"You're
rest
gonna be
is
the guy."
history, because
Yes.
now you're in that movie that came out, I believe, in 2009,
Yes.
The Girlfriend Experience, with Sasha Grey, who's still probably one of the most known adult film stars in the industry. And actually, that movie became a series that is actually airing on Starz. You're not in it, but it was inspired, obviously, by the film.
Yeah, which is cool.
Right. But I also want to ask you a very interesting question. Talk to us about, I'm not sure if you've heard the news about Leslie Kahn and about the audio tape that she was encouraging her students to take on a Latino persona to get more roles. She got a lot of, what is it called?
Press.
A lot of press, but
and a lot of backlash.
Backlash, yeah. So how do you
Interesting.
feel about someone changing their ethnicity or identity to get roles?
That's a really, really interesting question. I studied with Leslie for a lot of years, and I can't speak more highly of Leslie. And I haven't heard the tapes and I haven't read the things, so I don't want to speak out of turn, but I can bet. Okay, look. So my name is Christopher Patrick Santos, Portuguese, Brazilian, and Irish. So I can oscillate without question between them if I wanted to be more Latino or more white. And have I read for straight Latino parts? Absolutely. I probably feel like maybe Latinos are becoming more dominant in the workplace right now. So I probably would think, again, without speaking out of turn, Leslie was probably just saying, like, look, if you can pull off that sort of feeling, then pull it off. You could have an Israeli person might look Latino. I might not look Latino, and I am Latino. So it's like, I haven't heard them, but I would be really interested to hear them and see if she probably just wanted people. I mean, at the end of the day, you're an actor. If you can play a disabled person, you can play a Latino. That's what we're trained to do.
Right.
Well, you're a very interesting actor. Where can we find you? We know that we've discovered and introduced you to some of our audiences, because a lot of them may know you. Where can we find you on social media?
So on Instagram, it's They Call Me Santos. On Twitter, it's I'm Chris Santos. I am the letter M, Chris Santos. And on Facebook, it's just Facebook/Chris Santos .3, I think.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. And obviously, we can also check you out in the Steven Soderbergh film Perfect, which is
Yes.
out now.
Out now.
Chris, thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
Thank you,
Wonderful to meet you.
Yeah, wonderful to meet you. Good luck with everything.
Come
We'll be
back
right
with your next movie.
Yeah.
I would love to.
Thank you so much.
We'll be right back.
Don't go away. After the break, there's still a lot more of The Trend Talk.